every day I post something on Facebook about just a question. Oh, let's see. Just a question that I post on Facebook. I asked road trip or airplane ride, which do you like? And so many people responded. And Maria's was road trip all the way. I personally love road trips. My husband and I love road trips. Our kids grew up doing road trips, and some of them do not enjoy road trips now, but it's fun in that early morning Facebook question just to get to know a little bit more about you. This morning's was, what do you like for breakfast? And a couple people talked about eggs, whether they were hot or cold. Eggs are their thing. I love that. Today's topic, though, is focused on magnesium and calcium and how they play together, and what I've done to help walk my body away from being calcium dominant and walk toward creating a magnesium-rich environment. As we start, remember, my name is Kristen. I'm a magnesium advocate. I have been for over 20 years. I am not a doctor. Everything that we talk about today, I want you to think about like we're just sitting down to lunch, which I wish we could, just sitting down at lunch, and we are sharing experiences and we're talking about things that help us to get healthier. But I don't know your situation, and it would be inappropriate of me to tell you to do something because I'm not a doctor. We're just talking and sharing information for you to make the best decision for you. Magnesium and calcium is one of my passion topics. Did you know that if you do not have enough magnesium in your body, that you can become calcium dominant? Typically, the verbiage has always been 2 parts magnesium in your body to 1 part calcium. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we could just take 2 parts magnesium, 1 part calcium pill and call it good? It doesn't work that way. Our bodies are more complex than that. And so it takes a little bit of diving in and understanding your magnesium burn rate. Before we go there, I want to back up a little bit and talk about calcium dominance and your pineal gland. My goal is not 2 parts magnesium to 1 part. Many doctors now will say you need 3 parts magnesium to 1 part calcium. And why is it so bad if you don't have that? Because when you don't have enough magnesium, your active vitamin D is not converted from your stored, and then calcium has nowhere to go. And it lays in places like soft tissue, your arteries, your pineal gland. I want to focus a little bit on arteries and pineal gland today. With pineal gland first, let's talk about what happens when you become calcium dominant. You don't have enough magnesium to drive the calcium where it needs to go. And so it goes to places it shouldn't go. It lays there and it hardens. Let's think about what the pineal gland does. While I get some water, and I'd love to know where you're coming in from, if you've been on a live before, or if this is your first one, because that really changes where this conversation is going to go. When we're calcium dominant, our pineal gland gets calcified. And pineal gland needs to be flexible. Pineal gland regulates your circadian rhythm. It regulates how you sleep, how deeply you sleep. Are you waking up refreshed? If you're not, it could be calcium dominance. Now, obviously, there's more things than just that. It's where it starts, though. And after my health crashed 20 plus years ago, I realized I had been chasing symptoms. And when you chase symptoms, you waste a lot of money. You buy a lot of tools and supplements that end up not being used. and you still don't feel well. Let's make sure we're starting at the foundation. And if you're not sleeping well, the foundation is pineal gland. That's the foundation of it. And yes, there are things we can do. We can wear a sleep mask and block out the junk light. We can do the magnesium morning trifecta and walk in the morning, soak in magnesium, and pull in those beautiful rays of sunshine that increase our melatonin levels and give our body more melatonin to access that night. Wait a minute, though. There could be a disconnect there. Anytime there's a disconnect, we create a gap and our health goes through that gap and leaks. Patricia, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And you've been on the live before. I'm so glad to have you back again. Welcome. When we create those gaps, that's when that experience can come up of, I'm doing so many things, but I don't feel better. Going back to that foundation and fixing it where the problem started helps everything. Pineal gland is involved in hormones. Pineal gland is involved in circadian rhythm, how you sleep. And we know hormones. Like, I have a deeper respect for hormones being post-menopause than I ever had. Pineal gland regulates sunshine in your body. It's what spreads, think of it like the sunshine gland, and it spreads things throughout your body. That pineal gland becoming calcified because we're creating a calcium dominant body versus a magnesium-rich body is a problem. Think of your dreams. Do you dream at night? Do you remember those dreams? The quality of your dreams, and if you remember them, can be an indicator of how calcified your pineal gland is. When that pineal gland is calcified, it also affects your personality. It changes how you interact with people. I've said this a lot. If you play a pattern anywhere, you play a pattern everywhere. When the pineal gland is calcified and it can't move, you become less flexible as a person in your relationships, in how things get done, in your expectations of others. That pineal gland actually plays a huge role in the depth and richness and quality of your relationships. And remember, healthy women are connected women. That connection actually helps us control our magnesium burn rate when we're deeply connected to other women. I have had a lot of women share with me, I don't do well with friendships with women. One of the reasons can be calcification of both parties involved in that. They can become rigid, their expectations can become unmovable, and this way has to be done. And that's sometimes a tough relationship for people to be in. And then imagine you have two women with calcium dominance and the rigid isn't working. Why would you want to hang out with that person? Because that's not a connection that's lifting you, it's dissonance. And when we have dissonance, we create gaps and our magnesium drains through. That pineal gland is the master gland and it determines so many things. Making sure that we are creating a magnesium-rich environment helps to decalcify pineal gland. Let's bring gut function. So many of us are aware our gut is everything when it comes to our health. Well, magnesium takes stored vitamin D and turns it into active vitamin D, right? Now, it's not the only thing, but it is a big contributor to converting your vitamin D. So you have the vitamin D that's usable in your body. Vitamin D is the first gateway of health. It needs magnesium to open that gate. When you don't have enough magnesium to open that gate, then in your gut, you don't have active vitamin D, and that changes your calcium uptake. That changes your calcium uptake in your gut. That's not a good thing. We need calcium, but we need it in the right places. Oh, Pam, you are so kind. That is my goal, is that for someone who wants to hang out with me for 30 minutes, that, or maybe you just pop in and pop out, or you're here for the whole time, but that you take something away that is valuable, that you can take action on. Because remember, if we're just learning about health, we're creating gaps. It's action that helps us to be healthy. Let's go back to that vitamin D and in your gut and activating where calcium goes. That active vitamin D, calcitriol, that's what determines where your calcium goes. And when your calcium doesn't go where it's supposed to go, that's when we create calcium dominance. That's when our pineal gets calcified. It also calcifies your arteries. Arteries are life. We need flexible arteries. When you lose the flexibility in your arteries, you are walking at a much faster pace toward death. Hardened arteries, calcified arteries, means that the plaque in your arteries becomes hard. And that way it doesn't move through the artery. It gets hard, it sticks to the wall, and becomes a major health issue. Same thing for your kidneys. Calcified calcium, unchecked by magnesium, running through your body, changes your personality, changes the quality of your life, changes your hormones, changes your sleep. We need to be remembering those dreams and having dreams that aren't traumatic dreams, but having dreams that are supportive dreams, that we wake up and that creative process has happened in our brain. And if that's not happening, calcified pineal could be a part of it. And I need a little bit more water. Last week, I didn't do my regular live on Monday because I was with grandbabies. I got to spend a couple of days with them and doing all sorts of fun things. Our art journals were the biggest hit ever. And I didn't stay. I was so focused on them and making sure that their experience with grandma was optimal. I forgot to drink water. And I am still playing catch up to get back to hydration. 1 day of dehydration can take up to 5 days of working toward hydration. And let's see, so I spent 3 days with not good water. And that means I have dropped how magnesium flows through my body. The decisions that we make every day determine our magnesium levels. Think of it. You and I are so powerful. We are controlling the minerals that go throughout our body. Are we hydrated? Are you dehydrated or are you hydrated right now? I am dehydrated. I can feel it in my mouth. It's dry. My lips were dry this morning. And that changes how effective the magnesium that I soak in can be. To walk away from calcium dominance, soaking, let me grab it. For those of you who haven't been on my lives before, soaking in magnesium, achieving cell saturation. I want to be at 3 parts magnesium to 1 part calcium so that my calcium can go where it needs to go. I don't want it laying on my bones, creating brittle bones. Magnesium is what drives the calcium where it needs to be for our bones. If you're concerned about bone health, the focus is, do you have enough magnesium to get the calcium where it needs to be? And so many times, I know my mom was super influenced by those commercials. And it was the first vitamin pill that was really pushed to women. And if you still ask women what builds strong bones, calcium is the predominant answer. And yes, we need calcium. If we don't have enough magnesium, and if we don't understand our magnesium burn rate, calcium doesn't have anywhere to go. Magnesium is that switch that we need for calcium to get on the right pathway. And I had so focused, I had bone issues early on in life. I have strong bone density now. And the reason is, for me, and remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not prescribing, I'm not telling you what to do if you have bone issues. For me, soaking in the magnesium was the first step of several layers that I added to get my bones strong again. If you don't have enough magnesium, calcium isn't going into your bones. They're laying on the outside of your bones and actually creating more brittle bones, because if calcium's not where it's supposed to be, it causes havoc in your body. Pineal gland, bones, arteries, kidneys, heart. We need that magnesium, so we're a magnesium-rich environment. Pam, you talked about the test to tell where calcium is. And Shelly and I, Shelly is, well, you can tell Shelly right now, pop that up on the screen. She's the one adding the link so you can, as I talk. And Shelly and I talked about that. Is that, like, I wondered if that question would come up. To go on a live right now with that, it takes much more than a half hour. I do think it would be a really good topic for my monthly magnesium moments that happen in the Good Life Journal. Now, the Good Life Journal is an email that goes out, and those people who receive that email get extra little coupons when there's a sale, extra little facts and tidbits about magnesium. But in my opinion, that monthly magnesium masterclass, we hop on we hop on a Zoom call. I can see you, you can see me, and we go deeper into topics, and we have more time than just a half an hour. And that would be a great place to dive deeper. And I will be asking on the next monthly masterclass. It happens the first Monday of every month. If you would like to sign up to receive that, please check out the link that Shelly just added on the Good Journal. And that monthly masterclass link goes out the first Monday of every month. It happens at, oh, Shelly, is it 9? Yes, happens at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm 99.9% sure. It happens on Mondays, 9 a.m. Yes, Shelly. Oh my gosh, thank you, Shelly. Oh, it's 11 a.m. Oh, okay. So pull that back. I do my lives, not my masterclass. 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and the link only goes to that Good Journal. Our next masterclass is coming up in August, and I will be taking a poll. Is anyone interested in diving deeper on calcium and how to test it with a full understanding? There are different pathways that you can take. For example, if you were concerned about gene mutation, the MTHFR? MTHFR, I believe. I would not pay for that test. It's a quite expensive test. There are other tests that I would look at to determine if I need to pay for that most expensive test of the gene mutation. I would look at homocysteine. If you're taking B12 and folate, you should be taking the methyl version anyway, and that's what that expensive test will tell you. Take the methyl anyway. Now, some people do need to go deeper into their gene mutation to understand. A lot of people don't, and the cost. And calcium's the same way, in that there are different things that you can compare, just like glucose intolerance. You can look at so many things on glucose in other ways than just your blood sugar to determine if you're glucose intolerant, because sometimes this number over here can look good, but actually your body's not getting the benefit because it's blocked by going into the cell. I would love to go deeper on that conversation, and I will run that by the Magnesium Masterclass that happens in August. If we have enough people who are interested in that, then absolutely, I can do that in a masterclass. So long answer to a very simple question. Okay, we have, oh, good, Pam, I'm so glad. And I knew that I was pretty sure, because I thought you were on those, and is what we do on the master classes. If people can't be live, then we send a recording out to them. We were sending it a month later, and we've changed that, and Shelly upgraded that system, and now you receive that recording within 24 hours. If you can't ever make it live, Pam, know that you'll get that recording within 24 hours. And then by the next masterclass, that recording's not available. So kind of think of it like you've got 30 days-ish to watch that. And then the next recording of the masterclass takes place. And I so appreciate Shelly doing that. It takes some work in the moment to make sure that that gets done. And she was amazing and figured out a way and added that to her system. A lot of times when people sign up for that masterclass, they will think it's happening right when they sign up. So remember, that email comes out the first Monday of every month. So first Monday of every month. I would love to know if you questions about calcium dominance. We've got about 5 minutes left. Magnesium, your burn rate. Are you doing the 30-day challenge with me in September? I always do a 30-day challenge. And this year I'm moving it to September. The last couple of years I've been pulling some data and watching as people do the 30-day challenge with me. And September is going to be a better option than August. In September, I will be doing the 30-day challenge because I want to go into the winter strong. Our magnesium levels are supposed to drop. Seasonal living. Our magnesium levels are supposed to drop in the winter. It's when we go into the winter low, we add holiday stress. Many people have increased sugar intake. We go in low and then we drop even lower. And then that's when we're setting ourselves up to become calcium dominant instead of magnesium rich. So September, I will be doing that 30-day challenge. Have you thought about joining me, being a part of that? I'm not sure how I'm going to set it up this year. If social media is the best way, or maybe I'm almost wondering if I do it as a private group, and then I can store the recordings, share them, kind of thing. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. Oh, leg cramps, even after a magnesium soak. Patricia, this is an amazing question, and I'm so glad you brought this up. It can be, yes. It wouldn't be the first place that I would look at, though. The first place I would look is potassium levels. Are you getting enough potassium? And remember when Pam asked about calcium testing? Potassium's a tough one to test. For example, if they put the tourniquet on or off your arm, will determine how the potassium levels show up. If they put the tourniquet tight, that will change the potassium levels on your test. Potassium blood work is not one that I would look at. I would look at tracking how much food-based potassium am I getting on a daily basis. I do better up in the 4,000. I see most people when they track, they come in between 16 to 1,800. People, when the pattern is, and remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not prescribing, I'm just sharing with you patterns that I've seen as I work with people, and I track those patterns. Women feel better when they're in the 3,000s versus lower. I know just from trial and error and tracking my own potassium, I do better in the 4,000. Do I hit that all the time? No, but I feel better. And if I have leg cramps, potassium is the first thing I would look at. If I upped, avocados, beans, coconut water, you can do orange juice with some cream of tartar. Remember that cream of tartar is synthetic, and some people can handle 1 teaspoon. Some people can handle 3 teaspoons. Remember, it is synthetic potassium, and you will hit a bowel tolerance with that. And when you've done too much, that bowel tolerance will happen immediate and quickly, and it just varies. Some people can handle more than other people. I do sometimes use that if my potassium intake has been low and I need a little boost. My first focus, though, is always food-based potassium. I would do that for like 5 to 10 days, really focused on potassium levels, and then determine if the leg cramps have gone away, subsided, are still there. If they are, absolutely, that could be feedback from your body saying we've got some calcium dominance happening. Magnesium decreases calcium dominance. Doesn't happen overnight, though. There are other things that you can do. Blue-green algae, apple cider vinegar. You have to be careful with that one to not decrease the bile function in your gut. There are other things that you can do to decrease that calcium dominance. Morning sunshine, infrared, that red light, any red light therapy, morning sunshine being the OG, the original in that first 2 hours will help walk you away. That magnesium morning trifecta does so much to create a strong foundation, and it's soaking in magnesium, walking, getting the cells absorbing and more sensitive to what they need to uptake, walking in that early morning sunshine, and that sunshine. Those 3 things create such a trifecta and an energy to help increase health. I have loved being here with you today. I want to know, what's your takeaway? What is that important piece, that valuable piece of information that you took away from the time that we've hung out together that you can put into action? For so long, I made my journey longer in creating optimal health. Now I maintain it. I made my journey longer because I got caught in research mode. I researched and learned about this and learned about that. And I love learning. I will always be someone who loves to learn. But I got stuck in my head, which disconnected me from my body taking action. If you're taking the time to learn something, if you're taking the time to be here on this live, please find action that you can take. Healthy women take action. And I would love to know, let's see, I think there's some, I have to put this one up. Isn't Shelly the best? She is so helpful behind the scenes. in making sure the links are there and all of those things. And like, for example, I was going to go live on Insta also, but I don't think the live feed worked. There's something that didn't connect there. And so she even sent me a private message that said, I don't think you're live on Insta today. Anyway, so a huge thank you to Shelly and the support that she gives me. Oh, so glad on that one, on the good journal. And I'd love to know any action items. Yes, Linda, that is absolutely a part of the leg cramps, is not just being hydrated, but the water going into the cell. And that can be a huge role in leg cramps. Oh, Patricia, I love that. The potassium piece. Potassium, people feel so much better. It will show up in your skin. I'm a skin junkie. I'm a total skin junkie. When potassium levels are up, you can see it in your skin. Your skin will just glow and people will want to reach out and touch it. That's one indicator to me that I am optimal on potassium levels, because people will start commenting on my skin. And Linda brought up, it could be hydration levels. And many people will drink enough water. Hydration is not just about drinking enough water. It's about making sure that water goes into the cell, and a pinch of salt can help with that. Make sure that's appropriate to you though, because my husband can't take the amount of salt that I do. We have different salt requirements for numerous different reasons. So make sure anything that you're doing, you filter. Healthy women have strong filters, and filter that through your body and what your body needs. Walking away from calcium dominance creates optimal health. The magnesium morning trifecta will help you to do that. I love being with you today, and I'll be here. I think there's a couple times on our Monday lives that I'm headed down to go be with my mom for a couple of days, and we'll see if I can go live from her home, if she's comfortable with that. Usually she is, but I never want to put her on the spot. So with this summer schedule happening and kind of the wind down of, oh, I need to go here, I need to go there. We're actually selling our home in California, so I need to go get that cleaned up and make sure that it's ready for sale. There might be a couple Mondays that I miss. Typically, Mondays, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time are when I do lives, and I'd love to have you join me every Monday or hop in just for a minute or two. I love the interaction, and it helps me to remember there are other women out there focused on health and taking care of themselves so that they can show up in relationships and in their corner of the world as the best version of themselves. We need you. We need your gifts. We need your strengths, and we need you feeling good so that you have the physical, mental stamina to share them with the world. Have a great day. Let's see. Clean up there. Now we'll end the stream. Bye, guys.